problem is that people don't understand how they should scope an environment unless they have the data. And you can't get an assessment unless you do the scope. So you need the cert to get the data, but you can't get the cert if you don't have the data, is the seeming paradox. And so one of the questions that got asked this month was, how are OSCs supposed to clearly architect their solution when they've never been informed what CUI they receive or that they would create? So we just wanted to get your take on this seeming paradox that comes up all the time.
Okay, I want to be super empathetic to that challenge.
Of course.
Because, I mean, you're being asked to make a very decisive, difficult decision in the face of a lot of ambiguity. You're being thrown into the deep end, and that is unfair, and we wish it was different.
It's
so
definitely not
I don't
ideal.
want to seem cavalier with any of these answers. Here's the simple fact, though. Now that we've got this much more concise, clarified guidance from DoD, reminding us that anything with DoD distribution statements B through F is CUI. If I can identify even one document that is CUI because of those legacy markings, now I have certain options at my disposal. I can take that document and say, hey, how do we consume this as an organization? Where does it go? Who gets it? It's sales, quoting, engineering, our manufacturing prep teams. After things get through the production floor, is there quality operations involved? I'm using a manufacturing context here, but those business processes can be identified as a consumer of that piece of information. Okay. If I can do that, I can figure out the underlying applications that sit under those processes. If I can do that, I can go to IT teams and figure out the infrastructure that sits under those. Mm-hmm. And now I know that in at least one instance, I have CUI flowing through those business processes, consumed by those teams, used by those systems. And now I know I have at least that as my safeguarding footprint. Yeah. If I can move forward in good faith with that rudimentary information, I can tune that. I can get better at clarifying that later. I might have to add additional components or whatever, but I'm not completely stopped from making progress. You need an environment that can safeguard CUI. Even if it's not the absolute totality of what that needs to look like, you need something. So let's get started on that.